Hi, I'm really excited about this video because I'm going to be sharing 7 steps that are going to make off to school mornings radically easier for you. So let's start with an opportunity for you to reflect. How are your off to school mornings? I mean, I don't know how many you've had so far, but where are you with them? Are you at rock bottom? Are they a complete nightmare, frustrating? Or perhaps that would be number 1, level 1. Or perhaps you're at level 10 where everything's great fun, you're all enjoying each other, it's really enjoyable. So wherever you are on that scale, it doesn't matter. Unless perhaps you're at level 10 where you probably don't need this video. But if you're anywhere else on the scale, today's going to be really helpful because you're going to be able to find out how to have more fun starting tomorrow. So I'm Una Alexander and I work with conscious parents like you for whom a happy home is a top priority. And I help you radically love your child or your children all the way to happiness and naturally great behaviour. And so let's dive right in. What's the first step to a radically easier off to school morning? Step number 1 is slow down. And why do I say slow down? Well, it's natural that we're in a rush or very conscious of time in the morning and we're thinking of getting children to school on time or nursery or getting them to work on time after that. So it's natural, but when we're in a rush, children don't feel as present to them. In fact, we're not really present to them. We're present to our thoughts. And then children find that really hard because they need our presence to feel okay, really. So when we're not really there and we're kind of just dashing here and there, they throw things in our path just to slow us down and bring us into the present moment. Even if, in a negative way, but it seems to call us in. And so that's when we get tricky behaviour. So that's why I say start by slowing down. And you'll find that things go much more easily and you have time for step number 2. So step number 2 is connect and accompany. So when there's so much to do, before we get off to school in the morning, children dressed and breakfasted. There's so many tasks that we need them to do, we need to do ourselves. So we're often just issuing instructions here and there. Do this, do that. By the time I've brushed my teeth, I want you to have done that. And we don't allow the time to connect. And we forget almost that children need this at times like this, need connection at times like this more than ever. And we also have this assumption that when a child can kind of do something for themselves, like get their trousers on, that they don't need us there, and that may not be true. Sometimes children need us to accompany them with certain tasks for a lot longer than we think, even if they can physically, you know what I mean, they can do it for themselves, but they need to feel us there supporting them in order to be able to do it. In fact, you can assume that if your child isn't doing something, it's not because they won't, it's because they can't. It's because they actually can't. They need you there. So it might be as simple as just sitting on the bed and saying, shall I have a little sit with you while you get your tights on? Here they are. That's it. It's nothing complicated. And see the difference that it makes. In fact, thinking of tights, I remember a father I was working with a year or so ago who said at the beginning of our work together that actually after school mornings were a nightmare for him, and the words he used were, I don't want to be there. He said, I don't want to be there, Una. And he had a bit of an epiphany over some tights, in fact, where he realised all he needed to do was to sit down with his daughter and accompany her as she put on her tights. And from then everything turned and they started having really lovely after school mornings. So this is very powerful. Okay, so number 3 is just having a quick check. Yeah, number 3 is this. give your child something to do. Children are doers. They want to do stuff. They want to get engaged and get involved. So depending on the age of your child, but say you've got a 2-year-old, you might want to put a step stool in the bathroom so that your 2-year-old can climb up, you know, if you're standing there, making sure everything's safe, and get down their toothpaste or their toothbrush. It means that your 2-year-old gets to practice their climbing skills and gets to do something. For children, it's every opportunity to practice doing something and developing their skills is really welcome. So the other thing you can do is say at the breakfast table, if you have cereal, you might want to give your children a little jug like this and put in just enough milk that they can add their own milk to the cereal. It's fun and they get to do something, and they also develop their pouring skills. Okay, so that's number 3, give your children something to do. Number 4 is have things ready the night before. And this brings us back to number 1 about being present, because when we are having to deal with clothes and breakfast and all sorts of practical things, we can't be there for our children at the same time. Our minds are occupied. So if you've set up a few of the practical things the night before, you'll be amazed how much emotional space and how much mental space that opens up for you so that you can have time to connect and focus on enjoying your time together and expressing love for your child and filling them up with love, because it's all about love, really. And when we make space for it and time for it, you know this, everything goes so much more easily. And this is one way you can do that. And so that's number 4. Number 5 is take time to listen to your child. There may be upsets, you know, en route from bed to the car or however you get to school. So if something comes up, something doesn't go right, or they don't like Mrs. So-and-so, or they're upset because they're sitting next to so-and-so and not somebody else, or they don't want to go to school at all, take time to listen. And you don't have to fix it. You don't feel you have to solve whatever they've brought up. It's just the very act of getting down to your child's level and listening and saying, uh-huh, and nodding. And maybe repeating back to them what they've said so that they know you've heard. And just making space for that. That makes all the difference. Then that brings in connection again, and as we said at the beginning, the connection is key. That's what makes your after-school morning, you know, get right up the scale towards number 10. So that was number 5, I think, yes. And then number 6 is, if your child is a little bit teary and not wanting to go to school or missing you or saying those kinds of things, you can create a little ritual to top them up with love. And so that they can last through the day. It is a long time for a small child to be away from home, whether it's at school or nursery. It's a long time. And so one of the rituals you can do, but you know, you can get creative and make up your own. But this, just to give you a suggestion, one of these is to have a charge heart. So you draw a little heart on your palm and a little heart on their palm. You match them up by holding hands and you charge them up with so much love from your heart all the way into their heart, and to fill up their whole body and talk them through it and have a really loving moment together, and tell them that that love will last them all the way through the day until they come back home and get recharged by a big, big hug. Okay, so that's number 6. And number 7, last but very much not least, it's in a way the most important thing of all, not just for after school mornings, but at all in family life with our children. And that is commit to seeing your child in a positive light, seeing them as their best selves. Commit to unconditional positive regard. And I know how challenging this can be sometimes when behavior is not quite, you know, the best or what you want to see. But children swim in our thoughts and feelings like fish swim in the sea. So what we're thinking and feeling about them influences them to a degree you couldn't imagine. It's like 100% almost. It's huge. And so if you feel like you're stuck in a bit of a negative pattern and feeling like, you adore your child, you love them, but you just don't like them right now, or you're just fed up with their moods, or you just like to shift something and feel that connection again like you used to feel, then I have the perfect thing for you, because I've created a new audio, Reset Your Relationship with Your Child. It's a meditation for you to do, and you can literally download it and do it tonight. It's totally free. And wake up, not only feeling better in yourself, but wake up to a happier and calmer child. I've seen this work. I've done it myself and seen the overnight transformation that can happen. And I've seen it with many other parents that I've shared it with. And so you can go there now. It's on www.unaalexander.co.uk/reset. As simple as that. unaalexander.co.uk/reset. You can go there now and download it, share it with others. And if this video has been helpful for you, do give me a thumbs up and like and share it with others if you think that some of these tips might be useful for them too. It's been a total pleasure to be here with you. I hope this has been helpful. Do go to the meditation, download it now so that it's ready for you tonight. Lots of love. Bye.